Pokemon Black and White was released in September 18, 2010. Before starting the game, you will notice that the two dragons are supposed to represent yin and yang. I chose the black version because at the time I really didn't know much about it. Explain yin and yang would for me to be explaining a philosophy, but I'll try my best to explain it later on in the video. This is the first Pokemon mainline game to be set out of the Japan region, and now it takes place in the New York City. I got the game for the DSi. When I initially played through the game, I noticed that there weren't any previous generations of Pokemon. Some people this was a bad thing, but to me this created a new world effect. New creatures that have never been seen before felt so amazing. I love this feature and it reflects the American history based on the new world. As people immigrated here to reboot their lives, to reflect this they made Bravery the most American Pokemon based on Native American traditions and America's iconic eagle. Pokemon do the same was amazing to me. Sure, this effect does wear off after the first playthrough, but when I created my YouTube channel in 2012, I wanted to record this experience called Oshawott Rock. I loved the design of Oshawott at the time. What's astounding is that there's small improvements from Gen 4, such as Pokemon battles having fully animated sprites. This amazing feature to make the Pokemon battles feel more lively, and I loved it because I was impressed what the DS was capable of. Also, they added seasons into Pokemon. I'm sad that this feature never stuck around as I enjoyed the season aspect in the Pokemon game. Moving on, in the game we see Genesis and he's giving off a speech in Illumitel. And that Pokemon are being abused by putting them into battles and how he wants to free them. Calling Team Plasma hypocrites is a fair criticism, but I'm not going to take that away for this video. See this person named N and he claims to be able to hear Pokemon and then he challenges us. This is how he's the only NPC with a trainer ID as if he's like the player. This will be important later. Another feature they added is intense music for the gym leader's last Pokemon to convey their strongest Pokemon and also giving the player courage to beat them. After you beat N, he said he will recruit this Pokemon called Zekrom or Reshiram depending on what version you play to free all Pokemon. After that you can go inside the museum and see a white or black orb. This orb will be very important. While I was progressing through the game, I was genuinely impressed by the DS graphics with the Sky Arrow Bridge. Seeing it for the first time truly wowed me. I got to see Cascade City. It's based in New York City. I was even more amazed with the graphics. Also with the classic jazz music that New York is known for. It amazes me how much effort they put into recreating the New York City in Pokemon. It's truly astounding. Now I got to visit Nobasa City, a city filled with leisure activities such as American football and a musical theater. We get to see N here and he tells us to go to the Ferris wheel. And there he promptly tells us he's the king of Team Plasma, which I was surprised by when I first played. And then after beating him, a first person cutscene with him also shocked me, saying that he will beat the champion and says to beat him we must race to the Pokemon League and try to stop him if you dare. I am determined to stop N from forcing his will. Another prominent feature in Black and White is triple and rotation battles. I was amazed by the introduction of them. I was very impressed by the features. When I first saw it, I was like, wow, that's an amazing feature to have. I had the overall experience in Black and White. After beating the Ice-type gym leader, the Shadow Tri tells you about the Dragon's Battle Tower. Doing so, I was amazed how tall, bigger than life it feels. The history of the tower got lost to time, but as you climb up, you get to see the gym leader helping you against fight Team Plasma. As I reached the top, I got to see and recruit Zekrom or Reshiram, and he promptly tells you you need to go find the other dragon, but for that, it must properly recognize you as a hero. Which is amazing. Not only I am the hero of the story, but also N is the hero of the story. I find this concept amazing. It gives N a lot of character, which a lot of other Pokemon games don't have. After getting the Sacred Stone, Drayden explains that precisely that Reshiram and Zekrom were once the same Pokemon. He explained the story of the twin heroes. One of them sought truth and one of them sought ideals. And the original dragon split off into two. They fought fiercely with each other, but none of them could be victorious. Mostly skipped the meaningful dialogue at the time, not knowing how important it was for the overall message. 10 years later, I finally understand the themes of the games, what they were trying to say, as Reshiram represents truth and Sekiro represents ideals. They created a new Unova, was much more balanced. I went to Route 10, oh my, the lovely music is so absolutely beautiful. It was telling me to continue the adventure, as we all desire to become a heroes of our own story, to pursue the happiness, to live, not just to survive. Route 10 leading into the bag check area, journey being all of the badges you collected in the game. It's not about the destination of the Poke League that matters, but the journey to become a hero that truly matters. Within the Poke League, you get to finally choose which Elite Four member you want to face off in any order. When I first got to play the game, I found this feature to be quite astounding. In addition, you will have an epic climb to the top. You finally meet N and he beats the champion before you do. We'll promptly issue a direct order to gently free all Pokemon, but Alder says to do anything but that. And summons a castle to surround the Poke League. I was amazed by this, and I conquered the castles. Eventually the sages tried to hinder us, but the gym leaders team up to seemingly allow us to pass. Eventually, I got to see N's room. It says Harmonia. N Harmonia. So that's what his name is. Eventually, we get to see N. And now, I'm not going to skip anything and stay quiet for a bit. Wow, that was amazing. That blew my mind. Seeing N summon his own legendary Pokemon is the most amazing thing ever. And that moment, the orb reacts in the bag, summoning the opposing Pokemon. This has astounded me, creating a larger than life effect. I wholeheartedly appreciate that Game Freak went out of their way to animate this. They did an excellent job. You could say this is the most legendary concept of all time. Dragons have awesome battle animation that genuinely feels like the dragons decided for you to become a hero. This is the most undoubtedly the most legendary concept of all time. Seeing Reshiram's tail all power up instantly made me enjoy the legendary experience. This absolutely blew my mind 10 years ago, and it still does. And being humble, and he heals your Pokemon after you capture it. It astounded me when he sent his legendary Pokemon and then you sent your opposing Pokemon. This concept makes it feel like a truly legendary battle as I enlighten him with the truth and his ideals are corrupted by darkness. Animations for the signature moves is so awesome. I enjoyed this battle, but after you defeat him, I realized the inspirational message at the time, but looking back, it's stunning how ambitious effort that Game Freak worked on the incredible story. Comments how we as players and him are considered heroes. I discovered this to be interesting that N's Pokemon can be interchangeable because truth and ideas are interchanging. Based precisely in the yin and yang philosophy, yin can't exist without yang. For example, the eye colors of Reshiram possesses blue eyes despite being white and red, while Zekrom uses black and electric blue and possesses red eyes. The name reflects this. Despite Reshiram representing Yang, which can be hard, it has a soft sounding name, while Zekrom has a harsh sounding name while representing Yin, which can be soft. Complement each other as a whole. I sincerely love Black and White's message that the complex world isn't truly black and white. Says is disappointed by N to losing to the player, revealing that he's the fodder. He also lied about freeing the Pokemon, instead manipulates Pokemon for his using. He challenges you to a battle. Example of his manipulated Pokemon is his Hydreigon. However, it only evolves at level 64, abusing his Pokemon to evolve earlier. After you beat him, Alder forgives N and says, even if we don't understand each other, it's not a reason to reject each other. Always two sides to any argument, questioning N and the player. Is there only one point of view that has all of the answers? Give it some thought. I am being manipulated by Genesis to pursue a tainted version of truth or ideals. When he first met us, he was shocked by my Pokemon saying it liked me and it also wanted to be with us. Wanted to confront his belief by battling us, a hero to hero, as we need more than that in anything. As I said earlier, Yin and Yang complement each other as complete and by testing his worldview, and he gives us a new viewing angle to life. Besides his own journey, and his last words are, you said that you had a dream, it makes it come true. It will become your truth or ideals. If it's anyone, it's you. A well-natural, harmonious group, as he's the best character introduced into the Pokemon world. Looking back, I can see why people are looking at Black and White. This was the gold standard for Pokemon. It's unfortunate the game wasn't appreciated as much back in the days. Now I'm glad that it's finally getting the attention that it deserves. In-game players can catch Kyurem. In my own opinion, Kyurem is supposed to represent the middle line in Yin and Yang, referred as IG. Here's why I think this is the case. In Black and White 2, it confused with Reshiram or Zekrom, as Yin and Yang isn't static, but it's always constant flowing. Player can interchange whether they want to be moderate Yin or moderate Yang, but not both. Sometimes it feels cold not knowing what you want in life, and that's okay not to know what you want. At the end of the day, the pursuit of happiness that will ultimately matter. However, I'd love to see a Pokemon Legends game's Kyurem that goes in exploring the Dragon Spiral's history, that goes even further with the Yin and Yang themes. I believe the game should be rated T to convey the mature themes within the story. And the intro would start with the game asking you a quiz whether you're more truthful or idealistic. By answering, you get to play as one of the two brothers, learning the history of Kirim and letting players who get to see the original dragon. Those to represent Wu Ji, the absence of yin and yang. It also fits in because at one point the universe was filled with nothingness and then yin and yang formed. Redeem Zekrom and Reshiram. To end this video, always remember the world isn't truly black and white. It's been a dream of mine to create a video like my Fall Part 2 where I make an insightful video, and in a way it has become my truth and my ideals. If it's anyone, it's me. Well then, farewell.